Good evening, Communitas. Tonight's top stories. CRN legal troubles arise after change of president. A magic trick foiled as Jash seemingly disappears from roleplay. Many happy returns as Communitas celebrates its first birthday. Purse clenching as problematic pirates are announced by RH. And finally, a rundown of the Rainbow House activities this month. This is Communitas Regional News. It's a pleasure to be back, Communitas. It's been a busy month. Since our last broadcast, I've had the unique pleasure of being the subject of not one, but two major legal efforts to oust me from this chair. The first, an attempt by the Special Committee of Head Representatives of Lytho-Czecnia to seize control of CRN for itself. Apparently, for just doing my job too well. It's true. My segment covering LCRE's nuclear arsenal didn't sit well with the powers that be. 15 of the most senior officials in Lytho-Czecnia summoned me to the SCHR to discuss my supposed wrongdoing. 5 veto-capable representatives elected in the room had to agree. 4 voted to oust me. But then came number 5. Mrs. Eva Hatchell, representative-elect of Ezeraski district, a person I once called the lone grown-up in a room full of squabbling children, cast a deciding vote against the takeover. Not only did she veto the decision, but after abstaining in the first round, she returned with a tiebreaker in hand, 7 votes for, 7 against, until Hatchell tipped the scales and kept this news desk independent. To her, I say publicly and on record, thank you. Now, I would love to say that that was the end of it. But only 5 days later, our old friends at LCRE filed a lawsuit against me, claiming slander for the nuclear report. They said I'd damaged their reputation. I say they did that to themselves. The case took a while to get to trial, but when it did, the jury took less than an hour to deliberate. The charges thrown out as entirely unconstitutional. The outcome? LCRE was ordered to pay full court costs, plus a $25,000 faux dire penalty for attempted defamation. Oh, and a permanent ban from ever again holding shares in CRN. So, yes, to those asking, I am still here. But I would be lying if I said it hasn't taken a toll. The hate mail rolls in daily, some from hardline LCRE supporters, others from well-meaning Visscher fans who seem to think advice is best delivered like a threat. I've been called a liar, a traitor, a disgrace. One letter this morning said, and I quote, "I hope you choke on your own bias, you outsider-loving coward." Charming! To this I respond, I love Communitas. I love journalism, and I loved Rudy Visscher. He did not die, so CRN could just become another mouthpiece. He died, under still mysterious circumstances, I might add, during a time of crisis. His legacy was facts. So I will keep giving them to you, no matter who tries to silence me. Tonight's second story is a little different. Every so often, reality itself shifts beneath our feet, not with a bang or a revolution, but with something quieter. A departure, a goodbye. Earlier this week, the nation of Jash, a once prominent voice in international affairs, a contributor to diplomatic conversations, and an active participant in this world story, formally withdrew from the role-play stage. Not by force or by request, but by personal decision. The individual behind Jash, a person many of Rainbow House have worked and collaborated with, has announced their retirement from narrative participation. Their reasoning is clear. A wish to step back from storytelling, to focus on the duties of regional governments and community management. A wish for simplicity and stability. In response, a decision was made among the remaining nations of this ever-evolving theatre to account for the extensive impact which Jash had on international politics. The history books now reflect not an empty space, but an interpretation of the narrative. Jash, as a nation, no longer existed in the historical sense, no longer here, not in this shared fiction. But, in its place, Jabj, a similar nation on a distant and unseen continent, with a slightly altered past that better aligns with the continuity of the world that remains. It's a gentle retcon, not an erasure, but a refocus. The Western Union's crisis still happened, just a little more internationally. The first and second international conferences hosted overseas in this new nation. Now, that's not to say that this interpretation has been universally appreciated. We know that Jash themselves have complained that everyone should, quote, act like my nation never existed. Quite frankly, I'm not so sure that it could work that way. We're on an international stage. You can't just then back out and pretend it never existed. Imagine an empty paint bucket as Communitas as a whole. As people participate in international roleplay, they add their own unique shade of coloured paint into the bucket. What Jash was trying to propose is asking to remove paint from the mixed paint bucket, a nigh impossible feat. We'll have to see what the rest of the currently existing universe thinks, but as far as I'm aware, Jabj, despite seeming a bit like a joke, is the most likely explanation for this sudden departure from the norm. So, is Jash Island unclaimed? Not even remotely. Almost directly after Jash announced her resignation, they posted in-map claims channel that their land was up for grabs and that it was first come, first serve. Before, the ever-opportunist person that they are, nabbed the opportunity to relocate his nation to the northwesternmost point of the continent. Following suit was Worst Singer, who claimed their original territory that Jash received when they stopped participating in roleplay. Finally, Camelston attempted to grab a chunk of the mainland. They were a little late, but they were handed a participation trophy of a bit more land due south of their attempted claim. Ultimately, if you find yourself confused by this, well, you're not alone. I am, as it happens, uniquely qualified to be confused and aware at the same time. Fourth wall breaking, blessing or curse, it's up to you to interpret. However, to Jash, thank you for your contributions, your engagement, and your presence. This world, such as it is better for having had you in it. And to Jabj, welcome, retroactively. We'll have to file Jash under Things Only I Remember and keep moving forward. On the 27th of May, Communitas celebrated its first birthday. Communitas has certainly come a long way in 1 year, having undergone major government reforms, the development of a regional RPC, and a growing presence on the interregional landscape. Communitas has had a wild year, and I personally look forward to many more such years. Festivities extended throughout the day, with nightcore remixes of Alvin and the Chipmunks providing the backing track to the meeting of citizens and RH officials alike. Rainbow House took the opportunity to make 3 exciting announcements during the course of the birthday felicitations. Firstly, it was announced that we would be forming Project Communitas. This will be a joint nation-building exercise, with every citizen in the region being allowed to vote on making important decisions for the new Communitas coalition government, a nation under a shared RH account. Secondly, a joint inter-regional roleplay was announced with our friends over in Tinga. Starting in the year 1900 and based on a real-world map, this new region will allow Communitas citizens to meet people from other regions and allow a firmer forging of international relations. Nations are invited to reach out to our Internal Secretary Vicarand or Assistant Internal Secretary Western Union to ask for further details and to make a claim on the new interregional roleplay map, as well as to create new nations in the interregional roleplay region, whose regional message board shall be used for this new roleplay. Finally, The out-of-character announcement was made for the next regional roleplay event. Coughs, sneezes, and illusions are abounding as the disease, hitherto unknown to science, is spreading across the region. Whilst this disease has not, at time of writing, been recognised by any regional government, how nations will respond to the spread of a deadly contagion will certainly influence the future of Communitas' roleplay. Ultimately, this past year has been dramatic and shown how Communitas is a living and growing region. These most recent announcements from RH indicate that Communitas will continue to develop and grow as a region into next year and beyond. We'll be back after the break. Tonight, we set our gaze west. Just next to the bustling diplomacy hub of Xedang in the Communitarian states, whispers have surfaced of something new, or perhaps something old, returning. Rainbow House have proposed what may be its most unconventional concept yet, an NPC nation of pirates. That's right, pirates. Cutlasses, sail ships, treasure maps and all. Or perhaps hovercraft, crypto plunder, and interregional smuggling rings? Honestly, it's too early to tell. The name? We don't know it yet. The culture? A mystery. Government structure? Unclear if there even is one. What we do have, though, is a flag. Or at least a potential one. Provided by Camelston, one of Communitas' newest ambassadors to the broader world, the image depicts... Oh, let's just show you now. Interpretations vary, but the tone is clear. This isn't a tourist attraction. It's not even a traditional player-controlled state. It's a story tool, an unpredictable wildcard. How will this NPC pirate nation operate? Will they raid trade routes? Intervene in conflicts? mediate with cannon fire? We'll see. For now, they remain offshore, in concept, if not in force. But for those of us who've been charting this world's expansion over the years, this may be the most literal case yet of new waters being tested. And here at CRN, we're keeping one eye on the map and the other on the horizon. And now, to end this broadcast on a note of transformation, we turn our eyes to the winds of change sweeping through the Rainbow House and the wider Communitas region. First up, Diplomacy Ahoy! The Ambassador Programme officially launched on the 9th of May 2025, marking a new chapter in how Communitas engages with the broader nation-states world. Two candidates, Camelson and Conarth Pathonic, both cleared their final interviews with unanimous 5-0 approval from their respective panels. These new ambassadors are tasked with representing Communitas across foreign regions, lending their voices, ideas, and assistance to what many might call the turbulent world that is interregional politics. To both of you from CRM, may your inboxes be light, your forums hospitable, and your back channels productive. In the world of security and order, another shift. On May 22nd, Baratna stepped down from their role as Public Safety Officer, a position responsible for keeping the region clean, active, and protected on the nation-states platform. Baratna will continue serving in a non-voting capacity as foreign advisor, still a part of the team, still offering guidance, but stepping out of the ring. We here thank Baratna for his long service as PSO and look forward to continuing working with them in the future. To fill the gap, a shortlist was prepared by Lytho-Czecnia and Jash, as mandated by the Charter. Ultimately, the internal Rainbow House nominee declined the offer, citing concerns about appearing to restructure the government for convenience. Thus, the mantle has been passed to Conarth Pathonic, who now wears two hats, Ambassador and Public Safety Officer. Multitasking just got diplomatic. Meanwhile, legislative gears have been turning, as the Rainbow House has passed 3 amendments to the Charter in recent weeks. The May 9th Omnibus Amendment contained limits on the General Secretary's powers in making voting rolls and introduces faster emergency procedures, streamlining our response in times of crisis. The Clarification Amendment, also passed on the 9th, cleans up the Charter's language, ensuring everyone's on the same page, or at least in the same dictionary. And finally, the May 22nd Accountability Amendment lays out formal procedures for resignation, expulsion, and even impeachment. Expelled members may return to RH. Impeached members? Not so lucky. These changes mark a region maturing, not just reacting to chaos, but planning ahead for it. Proactive governance, folks. It's not flashy, but it's what keeps the lights on and not flickering on and off. And now, let me throw in a personal highlight. The Writers Collective has gained its first official member, Autophage. With yours truly now at the helm of CRN as its newly appointed president, I want to extend an open invitation to any citizen with a pen, a voice, or a flair for narrative. Come write with us. Help us tell the stories of our region in the Herald, on the website, or in broadcasts like this. History doesn't write itself, but maybe you could. So, whether you're an ambassador, an officer, an author, or simply someone watching from the sidelines, let it be known, the story of Communitas is still being written, and every role matters. That's all for tonight, folks. Join us next time for more Communitas regional news. Good night.